Hey guys, welcome to Paint Night Online with Mixed Media Girl. Today we are painting this fun Bob Ross inspired Blue Lake painting. So for this painting you only need blue, black, and white. Very simple colors. You can use, I'll be using acrylic, but feel free to use anything you want. You can use oils, you can use watercolors, you can use crayons, whatever you want. So if everyone just give me a second, I'm working on getting the paint night pulled up on my computer so I can see any comments. I normally would have gotten that pulled up earlier, but I decided that I needed to make a run for some iced coffee. So forgive me. That was my priority. So let me know in the chat box who all is here and who is painting along. Hey Tara. And yeah. Don't forget to thumbs up as you tune in. Okay, almost got it pulled up. All right. Ow, ow, ow. Hey, Danny. Hey, Mitch. We'll go run and get some stuff real quick. Oh my gosh, my kitten was attacking my foot. All right, kitten, you guys say hi. Say hi. It's your weekly meeting with everybody. She's such a butthead. Okay. Guys, if you are not able to do it right now, that's okay. You can always paint it later, but I do appreciate you all tuning in. Also, guys, if you enjoy this, or even if you hate it, please consider doing a super chat donation, or a super sticker, or a PayPal donation. PayPal link is down in the comments. No worries, Mitch. I totally understand. Well, maybe you and Mike can follow along later on. Hey, Barbara, welcome, welcome. Okay, please let me know down in the comments if you are painting along. And once again, you don't even have to paint. You can use colors, pencils, etc. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't, that's fine too. You can always just be here to chat. Tammy's joining in. Okay, good. Veronica's painting. Tracy's painting. Awesome. Okay. So I am using literally just Craft Smart paint. I have bright blue, black, and white. Angie's painting. Excellent. And because I'm doing so many of these, I am reusing canvases. Otherwise, I would quickly run out of space and canvas. Especially right now, it's not as easy to get canvases. So that's why this one's actually a light blue, because I painted over a previous painting. All right. Thank you so much, Mitch. You're awesome. Okay, little T Cat is painting along. All right. And I'm using the same brushes I always use. I've got a medium, 1 inch flat, 1 inch foam brush. I need to start drinking that coffee. A medium flat brush. I think this is a 1/2 inch one or a 1/3 inch maybe. And then a little detail brush. So Fauna asked, can I paint this later? Absolutely. This will be, after the live, it gets posted as a regular video, so you can follow along at your own pace. And start, stop, rewind. Even if you paint it now, you can still do it again later. Okay, we're gonna get started. So I'm starting with the foam brush, which is generally what I use for my backgrounds. And I'm starting with the blue. And this part is really easy. You're gonna literally cover your entire surface with blue. And ideally you have a medium blue, but if you have a darker blue, feel free to add a little bit of white to it to lighten it up, or you can just use a darker blue. You can also have a lighter blue, but I like, it's supposed to be like a dark, like kind of a at night painting. You know, we have the moon there and stuff, so it ideally shouldn't be too light. Also, this would be a really cool painting to do with just black and white too. So feel free to really switch it up. And if you don't have blue, you could use any color for the background. You want to do purple, do purple. You want to do red, do red. It is totally up to you. Make this your own creation. All right. Hey, Suzanne and the crafty babe, everybody. Aw, thank you so much, Hot Wheeler. So I try to paint and read comments at the same time. It's a little bit of a task. This one's a slight arm workout, just to warn you. Not too bad. And I am just doing this at home in my, what would be dining room area if I had a dining room. So don't be surprised if you hear cats or children or husbands or whatever. I can't control them. All right, so literally just painting the entire background with blue. This is by far the easiest step. All right, there we go. It is totally, so Tara said is it okay if my canvas is a little smaller? Absolutely. You can use anything you want. And if you don't have canvas, use cardboard. You know, just have fun with it. Jenny says she's giving it a whirl. That's awesome. Let me grab my coffee. So for those that are painting along, please let me know once you have your entire background covered with blue. You can just say I'm there or more time. Either one of those helps. Excuse me, kitties. My cats like hanging out with me wherever I go. Okay. Oh, that's so funny, Suzanne. She said she literally just bought a canvas this week to do a Bob Ross inspired piece. How funny. Hello, Bucky Brown from Oklahoma. Hey, DL Tyler, are you painting with us today? Okay, good. So let's go ahead and go on to the next step. Who was here for the last paint night? Which I think, or for the lighthouse one. Who was here for the lighthouse paint night? Because we did some clouds there, and we're gonna do basically the same technique with the clouds. You were, okay. Well, at least you got the instructions. So it's very similar. We have less clouds on this one though, and also we're only using the 3 colors, so it is a bit easier. So first, I'm just gonna kind of put a line here-ish where my mountains are gonna go, like the bottom of my mountains, which should be about center. You can have it a little bit lower though if you want more sky or more water. You can just adjust that. But we're gonna use the foam brush to do our clouds. And I'm gonna go ahead and start with some white. I'm not washing my brush or anything, so I still have blue on my brush. And you really just need a tiny, 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 tiny bit of paint on here. So for clouds, I'm just gonna give the instructions starting again. I'm gonna adjust the camera just a little bit just to make sure you can see the full canvas. Okay, there we go. So basically, a common misconception with the clouds is that they're kind of like a bunny tail in a circle, which really is generally almost never how clouds look. So what we're doing is we're just patting in basically a linear fashion. You barely need any paint. So you want to just put a little bit on and then spread it out. So once you have made basically this bottom line, you're going to kind of take it up a bit. You're not going for a rectangle either. So just take it up in like a little spot there. And there you have a basic cloud. So I'm going to add a little bit more white to my brush. So some of these are going to start out light blue. That's okay. And above this line, we're going to add clouds to the entire sky here. Of course, you can leave some blue sticking through if you want. Can be as stormy or not as you would like. Now, of course, as you go and make more clouds, the blue will come more and more out of your brush and you'll get more and more white. Aw, thank you so much, Becky. Becky and Mitch, you guys are amazing. I really appreciate all of any super chats. It really helps. Especially since, like I said, right now it's a little bit hard getting supplies and yeah, so every little bit helps. Okay, so I'm just adding these clouds kind of all over the place. I do like to do some that are kind of going off to the side there. And feel free to do different shapes, but kind of keep that same sort of linear pattern at the bottom. It does not have to be a perfect line. So watch this, like I can go down a little bit there, but it's still linear, okay? And you can make these as wide or not as you would like. Now my moon is going to be about right here. Tara, we're still just doing the first clouds. It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and after this, I'll give you guys a little time to catch up. But the moon's gonna be right here, so I'm gonna add more white here specifically. So kind of think of that as this is your light source. Maybe a little bit over here. All right, how are we doing? Let me know in the comments if you're doing okay on your clouds, if you need a little more instruction or anything like that. Yeah, so we're putting some happy little clouds and then we're gonna put some douchey ones in a minute. Thank you, Mitch. All right, Becky said it's stormy in her house right now. My clouds are prettier. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit more white and then I'm gonna actually get in here with some blue. Now, obviously we have the blue background. You can totally leave it at that, but I like this whole like cloudy look as opposed to the more lined look. So I'm gonna go back in here with some blue and I'm gonna make some blue clouds. And you can use that also to kind of adjust any of your other clouds as you want. And you're literally just, it's a lot of padding. You can do this with any brush, but I definitely like doing it with the foam brush. Okay, almost done here. I'm gonna add, I wanna just do a tiny bit more white. Feel free to go back and forth as much as you would like. I just wanted some more white in here. And also I like to step back and see how it looks. Hey Karen from Curacao, ironically I'm wearing a Curacao shirt right now. That's the bottom of it, but I love Curacao. It's one of my favorite places on the earth. I have so many pictures and videos from Curacao, it's not even funny. All right, so let's see. Just a little bit more white here, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of black. It is good to do this while it is all wet, because then you get a little more blending. So if you are taking your time a little bit more, it might be a little bit less blended, but that's okay. So I like to go around the edges with black. Not all the edges, but some, and then kind of encroach a little bit. Now if I'm thinking of my light source being over here, then I don't want too much dark right here. So And because I do have that white and blue on my brush, it is going to come out a bit gray, which is all right. I don't need it to be too dark. Unless you want a really stormy sky, that's okay too. Now please, 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 if you are painting along, let me know in the comments how you're doing. Normally, I would be there with you in person, so I could kind of see if you're having trouble following along. Obviously, I cannot see that right now because I'm not, what is the word, clairvoyant? I don't know. I can't see through a computer screen to you in your house. That would be weird. So just let me know how you're doing, if you have any questions as we're going. So add as much black as you want, but I'm kind of just smattering a little bit throughout here. And I'm going to go back onto some of these gray areas and make some a little bit blacker. Most of you probably know that I definitely like black and I love contrast. Okay, good. So, if you've ever been a Curacao, douchey, which is D-U-S-H-I, means basically like sweetheart or sweetie, or, you know, it's like a term of endearment. But if you're in the U.S., douchey definitely means something different. Okay. Just gonna add a little darkness in here. I may regret that later. All right. Too much black on there. Yeah, I had a little too much black on my brush there. That's okay. I haven't also done this painting in quite a long time, so please bear with me and give me a slight reprieve if it's not perfection, okay? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys some time to catch up here. But let me know in the comments. So Tara said she needs a little more time. That's totally fine. Where's everybody else at? All right, well, Jude is in Boston. That's cool. Where's everybody else out on the painting? Prophetess Fry is there. Okay, good. Little T-Cat catching up on the black. Okay, no problem. We'll give you guys time. Veronica said I should stop working on the clouds, but it's so hard to stop. I totally understand. Hot Wheeler said gonna try to save it later. When you don't have a headache, I'm so sorry about that. Definitely understand. All right, give you guys a few more minutes there. So everybody else that's not painting, how's your quarantine going? How's everything going? Been making it okay? I haven't killed my child yet, so that's good. Come close a few times. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm loving the conversation that is going on in the chat box. Okay, I think painting definitely helps when times are really stressful. Oh, Katie, you go back to work on Friday. There you go. Samantha, if you want to catch up, go for it. You totally can. We're waiting for just a minute here for everybody to get caught up. Or you can absolutely do it later. That's okay too. Charming Giraffe said there's a cloud where her moon is supposed to go later. That's okay. As long as it's not too white. You don't want it to be too white because you want the moon to be able to stand out. Yeah, I've been homeschooling my daughter, and there have been quite a few rough days. Hey, your moon could be a different color. All right. Tara, how are you doing on the clouds? And also, who else was catching up on the clouds? Little T Cat. That's awesome, Samantha. You guys should have fun with it. And yes, you can try this in any color. It does not have to be blue themed. It could be purple, green, red, any color, literally. It could even just be black and white. So, yeah, my child has gotten detention more than once. All right, we're gonna go on to the water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit of extra black off of my brush, but you shouldn't have too much paint on your brush, ideally, if you weren't going too heavy on the clouds. If you do have too much black on your brush, I would say just go ahead and grab a paper towel and just wipe it. All right. So for the water, you can do another blue layer if you'd like. Mine came out a little thin, the initial layer, so I'm going to add just a little bit more blue. I also had pre-painted the background, so it was a little smoother than like a regular canvas, and the paint isn't quite sticking as well. But okay. So think of where your light source is going to be. Now, your moon does not have to be here. Your moon could be centered, could be over to the right, it can be wherever you want. It could be hidden by the clouds. But for me, mine's gonna be right here. So I'm gonna know that I want some extra light over here, all right? So with my brush, which still has that original blue on there, plus now a little bit more, I am going to add some white in here. And you can have this happen at the sides. If so, you just get some more blue and just kind of blend it back in. I'm going to go ahead and take some white. Remember, our mountains are going here. Okay? So some of this will be covered up. My blue has chunkies in it. So I'm just kind of lightening this area in general, and then I'm going to do some more random lighting. A little bit over here. If you ever add too much, just go ahead and add more blue. I want just a little more right here specifically. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. Adding light on our water. And then we're gonna add a little bit of dark. So get a little bit of black. Now remember, a little black goes a long way. So please, please, please just go slow with it. And if you do it over a part that's already wet, well, it'll be more gray. So this area over here would be the darker and lighter. So I'm going to add just a little more black over here. Once again, if you end up accidentally doing a little too much, feel free to go back in there with some more blue. And just kind of keep working the water until you're happy. Do not add this. We're going to be adding that when the time is right. We're only doing the rest of the water for now. Okay? Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Because we won't know to add this until we have this in there. It's a shadow, obviously. All right. I'm going to add a little more dark at the bottom. I want to blend this part a little bit more. Okay, I feel pretty happy about that. I think we're good. How's everyone doing on their water? Yeah, I have people that are in different time zones, and then also are maybe not the best. Oh, I just put my hand on here. Not the best at letting people know too much in advance. Whoopsies. Okay. Well, you can always go back and do more layers on it. That is the good thing about acrylic paint, is you can layer and layer and layer, and it dries quickly. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of time to get through that water. And while we're waiting on that, let me know in the chat box, where's everyone tuning in from? I know we have Jude from over near Boston. I'm in Los Angeles. It's about 6 billion degrees outside right now. Okay, Tara, glad you're having fun. I'm just Jazzy is there. Okay, good. Andy's in Texas. You're in the USA. Okay, great. Danny's from Georgia. D.L. Tyler from Pennsylvania. Danielle. Norma from Indiana. Mama Romero, I think Jude was talking about the weather. Oh no, Bucky Brown. Stay safe, please. Okay, how's everyone doing on their water? Ooh, Yasmin from Sweden, welcome, welcome. You're there-ish, okay. Hey, Veronica, can you do me a favor? I did want to let everybody know, in case you missed it, my husband is insane, but besides that, he just released a hilarious video. He's doing quarantine parody videos. So his latest one was Bittersweet Symphony, Bittersweet Quarantine. If if you could grab the link for that, that would be amazing. So you guys could check it out. I would really appreciate it. And then also I do want to let you guys know too that tomorrow at my normal live time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific time, I do have an awesome art auction coming up. So just letting y'all know. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go on to the mountains. And believe it or not, the background was probably the more difficult part. So now we're actually getting on to the easier part. Okay, so we're gonna go onto the medium flat brush and we're using black. And here's where you're going to give your mountains the final delineation of where you want them to go. So they can go right at this line or they can go a little bit lower. I'm going to basically have, this is going to be the bottom of mine. Don't worry about making it perfect. Nobody's going to notice. Okay, then in terms of the mountains, you can go all kinds of crazy. But remember that you want to leave the area here for your moon. So kind of leave, oh man, that already was a mess up. Anyways, leave kind of a valley here for your moon, okay? So common misconception with, oh good, I have a, with mountains is that they either go like this or they go like this. Neither of those are mountains. Mountains are actually kind of a collaboration of both of those. It doesn't have to follow the cloud line. Not at all. You just want to leave the space here for your moon to go. So you don't want to put a mountain there. That's all. So you want to have peaks and you want to have valleys. I like to kind of have my brush just kind of shake as I go so that it's all kind of jaggedy. And you can, of course, come back and adjust as you want later, but that will kind of give you a starting point. And then you're going to fill it all in with black, which at that point you can adjust. Now, because I have this line here that I made, I'm going to make that into kind of another little peak. And we're not, of course, worrying about the lighting and stuff yet. We're going to get to that in a minute. So for now, just go ahead and get your mountain outlines and then fill it in. So I'm adding a little mini peak down here. And they don't have to be smooth at all. Like, these mountains have trees and whatever on them, so they are not by any means smooth. It can be bumpy. That is totally fine. It should be. But adjust it as you go. If it's too bumpy for your liking, you can definitely smooth it out as you go. So I'm just filling this in with the black. And I ideally you have a lot of irregularities. You don't have anything that's too pattern-like, ideally. Hey Amanda, welcome, welcome. Also, once again, please, please, please super chat or super sticker if you can. There's also a PayPal donate link down below. So if you enjoy this, that helps me to be able to keep doing these, because obviously paint and brushes and canvases are not free. I wish they were. Okay, I think I'm fairly happy. I'm gonna make a few adjustments. I'm a bit of a perfectionist sometimes, not often, but occasionally, especially when the weather's hot. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Aw, thank you so much, Suzanne. You're awesome. Oh my gosh, DL Tyler, you are the best student in the world. Start smaller. You can always go bigger. You can't go smaller. That is what I always say, which is true. So you don't want to start with your mountains like, wow. Especially if you're using black, it's really hard to make it smaller. Okay, who has their their mountains in? A super sticker. If you go down below, there's a little $ button in the chat box, and you can click on it, and it gives you an option for a super sticker or a super chat. A super sticker, you get to pick a little sticker. The super chat is just like a message. You get a message. And it's basically like a virtual tip jar. Hey, Urban Colors, welcome, welcome. So I noticed a change that YouTube made when you're doing live videos now. You used to be able to click on someone in the chat box and go to their channel. YouTube took out that feature. Did anybody else notice that? It is bull honky. So now I can go and just click on your guys' name and subscribe to your channels if you have them. It actually really frustrates me. Okay. So has everyone got their mountains in? Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Jose. Yeah, it's definitely some bull honky right there. Okay, Veronica, we'll give you another minute. We'll let you catch up. So this is definitely Bob Ross inspired. Now, obviously he uses, if you've ever watched him do his mountains, he uses a palette knife. And of course he's using oils. I don't know if you guys know that, but he's using oils, not acrylic. So it's all gonna react a little bit differently. And I don't have the space to fling around the brushes like he does, so okay. Anyways, but the way we do the lighting on the mountains is going to be very similar to how he does it. Thank you, Angie. So Melanie asks, is this video available to rewatch later? Yes, it absolutely is. Okay, let's go on to our lighting. I'm actually going to, you know what? Put in our moon first. That makes more sense. And I forgot my cup of water to wash out my brushes again. So I'm going to grab that really quick to give you, Veronica, another second to catch up. Because we're going to rinse off our brush and use it for white for the moon. Okay, did you guys behave while I was gone? Your mountains look angry? That's okay. It happens. Maybe it's just a really stormy area. Aw, thank you so much, Melanie. Okay, so your brush should be rinsed out. And now we're going to add the moon. This is probably the most difficult part of the painting because you need to be able to do a circle. Nobody can see you, so feel free to cheat you know, get a quarter and draw a circle around it or something. But I like to just get some white, and I put my brush down and go in a circle. Start small. You can make it bigger. You cannot make it smaller. My hand was totally in the way. Okay, I'm gonna adjust this a little bit better. 1 second. Gonna move. Whee! Okay. So I just put my brush here, press it down, and then turn it around in a circle. Hopefully you can see that better with the angle. So you're just gonna slowly make it bigger until it is the size you want. That's what she said. Okay. All right. And I am doing white. You can do blue if you want. You can also do gray. And then if you notice on here, I have a little bit of blue. So I like to accent mine with blue, even though a normal moon is of course gray. And what I do is I put a little blue on my finger, and I just kind of tap it out. You only need a little bit of blue. If you put too much like I just did, go back in with a little white, tap it out. Oh, bugger. I got too much white down here. All right. Like I said, the moon is the hardest part. Especially if you are like, must have perfect circle. It was better before I tried to fix it. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. Going to slightly adjust the camera one more time. It is difficult because there's a kitten down here blocking my way. Close your eyes. Gonna shake. Oh my gosh, kitten. Okay. Went as smooth and slow as possible. There's literally a kitten under my tripod. All right, we're gonna go on to the lighting on the mountains. Yeah, both of my kitties are sitting here. So you should already have a little bit of white on your brush. This isn't gonna be an entire lesson on lighting, but obviously think of where your light source is coming from. It's coming from the moon. So it may not be super light over here or on the other side of your mountain here. We're also going to use the lighting to delineate some of our mountains here and kind of put some that are more in front of others. Now, if you're like me, your mountains are probably still fairly wet. So I'm gonna give that a go. If it's too wet, we'll take a quick little breather and let it dry. But basically we're gonna go along the edge here with white and kind of just do some sloppy lines. So this part especially, because it's where our main light is. And I'm having them go together in this valley here. They can overlap. And you want them to be choppy lines because that gives you the mountain. I don't know how to explain it. The parts that go like this. Ah! I may not always know the right words, but at least I try. Now over here, so now we'll skip a little part because imagine this being kind of the other side. So I'm gonna go up here, like to the top of this peak, and go down a little bit leaving some black there, and then maybe it'll cross over here. Ridges and valleys. Yeah, the ridge. Ridge is the word I was trying to say. I'm just Jazzy. I'm very sorry, but there's no way to pause it while it's live. But you can always come back and watch it. Does anybody need me to give you a break for just a minute to catch up? Because I might be going a little too fast. You guys have to help me out in the comment box because once again, I can't see you. I guess actually you could pause. Maybe. You just wouldn't then be along with the live, like you would get behind, if that makes sense. So I think you actually can pause. That makes sense. Yeah, nope, I lied. You can pause. My bad. Okay. But does anyone need me to slow down so they can catch up? Or is everyone kind of more or less here? We just have the lighting to finish, and then we have our little island with the tree. So it's not actually that much more, but if you need me to wait for a second. Okay, no one's saying anything in the chat box, so I'm gonna just keep going. All right. So we're going to, I'm gonna go over here to this peak, and I'm gonna go down here. And once again, I'm gonna kind of cross over, which gives the appearance that it kind of goes in that direction. Like it's got a ridge right there. Now we don't need to do this on the top of everything. Like over here, you can leave that probably just black. I'll do a little bit over here because this one kind of more sticks up. And if you do have any parts that come out too white, feel free to go in and add a little more black in there. You can totally do that. All right, Tara, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue on this, but then once I'm done with the lighting, I'll pause, okay? And give you a little time to catch up. So especially as you're going farther away, you might not want it to be as white. So like over here, I'm gonna add some white kind of going this way, a little more sideways. And then I'll go in here with maybe a little bit of black. So we have kind of, it's not as light, it's a little more gray. And over here, I'll do it a little more gray as well. So you're just gonna give it some depth without being too complicated about it. Kind of just imagine the outlines of your mountains. And you're being just really, really sloppy with the lines. I'm gonna add a little more white on some of the peaks. Okay. You can do as much as you can there. I'm going to leave it at that for now, but feel free to do as much or as little as you want on that lighting. A little bit goes a long way, and it really makes a big difference in making the painting pop. So even if you just do a little bit, and primarily this area where you have the most light coming in, makes a big difference. So I'm going to give you guys another minute to get caught up on the lighting. And yes, don't forget to thumbs up, super chat, super sticker if you can. I'm going to carefully and slowly adjust this slightly one more time, just so you can see the other painting a little more. There. Okay. The lighting, it does take a little bit of practice. I have found that the sloppier you are with it, the better it generally looks. And if you kind of think of how a mountain goes with the different peaks and ridges and valleys, then it is a little bit easier. But yeah, it can take a little bit of practice. Okay, you're done with the lighting. Excellent. Yeah, Veronica's not allowed to give up. Nobody's allowed to give up. You got the shark teeth mountains. All right. Tara, how are you doing? And anybody else painting along? And then guys, for those who are painting along, I love, love, love to see your pictures later. So you can always post them in the event page on Facebook, or you can send it to me in a message or wherever. Danielle, I definitely saw your peacock. If you were asking me. Oh, were you asking Veronica or me? Nobody's bad for giving up. Okay, we're gonna go on to our island. Okay, yeah, I figured you were asking her. We're gonna go on to our island. I'm gonna stick with the medium flat brush, and we're gonna just get some black. Now the island is pretty centered, so just go in about the center of your water, and we're gonna make basically a line. I'd say about 6 inches. Once again, start small. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. Veronica, this is a good place for you to redeem yourself on your mountains. Yes, we're gonna add a happy little island here. So same kind of concept of the mountains, but just a little bit smaller. So you're gonna go a little kind of just jaggedy. I think I'm gonna do this island a little bit smaller than on the original picture over there. But you know, go as big as you want. Keep in mind, I should have probably said this earlier, I'm very sorry, but put it low enough that your tree will not go across your mountains. It's not horrible if it does go across your mountains, but it just makes it a little bit difficult if you're not working as much with lighting and stuff. It can blend in with your mountains too much. All right, so I'm gonna make this just slightly bigger. I think that's about good. And then my trick for the, there's 2 ways you can do the shadow. One is you can simply get some gray, or 2, you can take some of your black and just water it down a lot. So where it's mostly water with just a tiny bit of black. And you're gonna basically mirror. I think it's easier to do the gray. So I'm gonna actually just add a little bit of white and do the gray. And then you have less worry about dripping too. So for this, you're gonna kind of mirror the island, but you wanna do it very loosely, okay? So So it should not be a perfect copy of it because it's just a reflection. Basically, it's your mountain's shadow. So go ahead and just kind of add a sloppy shadow down here. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to be putting my tree here. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of a sloppy shadow for that. Okay. Oh, little Spicy's in the house. Yeah, all of these live videos are still up. So you can check them out later at your leisure. Thank you so much, Darcy. Okay, you guys got your island and your shadow in there. Let me know. Jessica, you don't need any talent to do this. You literally just follow along step by step. This is made for beginners. And good thing is if you do watch it on the replay, you can take your time. You can go back and forth as much as you need to. So I've taught this painting to people that have literally never painted in their lives. And they were able to do it. All right, we're going on to the tree. So this is where I'm finally using my little detail brush. And I'm gonna go, you can go anywhere on the island. I like to keep it pretty centered. So I'm gonna go about right here. And this is not, you're seeing this tree from a big distance. You know what, give me one more second. I'm gonna adjust this camera one more time, because the tree is kind of small. And also I think I'll stand on the other side. Sorry, try to go as carefully as possible. Okay. So starting with the tree trunk, and then you don't need a lot of branches because this is from a distance. So we're going to literally just add in a few branches as sloppily as you want. I'm not used to doing things from this side. It's not as easy. Yeah, we're just adding one little happy tree in here. Oh, hey now. Well, there is a sea creature now. All right, so I got some basic branches in there. Not the best I've ever done. I was trying to do it in such a way that my arm is not in the way for you guys. Yeah, there's a Loch Ness monster. Okay. And then going back to our medium flat brush. Who remembers what stippling is? So for those who don't remember, you're going to spread the bristles. Come on, focus. Out on your brush. There we go. All right. And you're basically going to use it to gently dot. You can also do this with something like aluminum foil. So I've got some black on my brush. I've got my bristles spread out. And I'm just going to gently tap. Key is gentle. I'm trying to not be too much in the way, but you kind of have to go straight on it. And you add as many leaves as you want. I'm going back to my other side. I am right-handed, so. You really don't need a lot of paint, and you want to just be very gentle. It would be better to do this for 3 hours to get the amount that you want than to put too much on there to start with. You can always add more leaves. You can't take them away. And it doesn't need to be a perfect circle. Trees are not perfect. You can also add more trees if you want. I like to just have the one lonely tree. This is where I go for my picnic, right here. But you can add more trees if you want. And that, my friends, other than signing the painting, concludes our paint night. So I like to sign mine in the lower left-hand corner or lower right-hand corner with my initials, using just a color that contrasts. So in this case, I'm going to use white because it's kind of dark here. And just put my initials. You can add your full name, you can add the date, you can do whatever you want. But I would say make sure you sign it. And then give yourself a pat on the back for getting through it. You guys did great, I'm sure. I can't see, but I'm gonna just assume that you did amazing. Okay, now survey time. I always sign my paintings. It is you. It's your creation, okay? I'm gonna move. God dang, this kitten. I'm gonna move this tripod one more time. Sorry. I'm going as smooth as I can. Okay, good. All right. Just a quick reminder, please do not forget to thumbs up and also super chat or super sticker or PayPal donate if you can. All right. We are going to survey the next painting real quick. Jessica asked, do you make all of your works? I'm not sure what you mean. Like, you mean, did I come up with the design? Yes. There are a couple that other teachers that I used to have came up with. And then a couple that I would see online and then modify it into my own painting. But yeah. Like this one's definitely Bob Ross inspired. Okay. So, survey. For the next painting, this is option 1. Oh, name. No, I don't name all of my paintings. Although I guess actually maybe I do and I don't even notice. I guess it depends. You kind of have to name them on Etsy when you put them up for sale, so. All right. Painting option number 1, the beach. Who wants to be at the beach right now? This girl. So this is option number 1. If you're watching right now, you can say 1 in the chat box or in the comments later. But wait for option number 2. So option number 2, this is one that I love for spring. So it is just a really, really colorful spring flower. If you want to know personally, this is my vote. This one's actually probably the harder one out of the 2 though, just so you guys know. So this is option number 2. So put that in the chat box if you're watching right now. I know it looks easier, but dear golly, it's not. I hate to tell you. And then if you're watching later, put it in the comments. But just pick whichever one you like more or you'd rather paint more. And I will make sure that you're able to do, whichever one we do, you're able to follow along easily. Okay, guys? All right. I really appreciate you all for joining me. I hope you really enjoyed this. And if you're watching later, you can always do a PayPal donation if you enjoy it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.